This is a Hulk one. This is Hulk 83, which is a House of Mert tie-in. And that will hopefully be the last time I mention House of Mert in this video, because it is shit and not worth talking about. This is David Peter Wrighton. He has never been afraid to come home again. Well, this one is alright. I recommend maybe reading it in a collected edition or illegally. Because one thing that never fails to suck the energy from me is when I get a comic out to review and it is during Marvel's age of advertisements. There is nearly one on every page as usual during this time period. Our story is that David Banner, he has moved to Australia and found inner peace living with an Aboriginal tribe in the outback. With them, he has learnt to meditate and remain calm, and he has been able to keep his alter ego bottled up for a long time now. He is at peace. It is Hulk though, so his newfound happiness will not last for long. Better get the sertraline ready. We have this band of humans who are also living in the outback to avoid persecution. And among them is Scorpina. She is Hulk's daughter, because this was during a time when Marvel were hell-bent on giving Hulk as many children as they could give him. She was created by CBR's favourite writer, Fred Van Dyke, and she first appeared in an Amazing Fantasy reboot. She was a teenage girl with a poison touch, and she became affiliated with SHIELD. She became one of their operatives. She was a spy-type character, like Scarlett Johansson. I think she has a gauntlet that allows her to channel her poison touch into bioelectric powers. She wasn't too bad, Scorpina, and her relationship to Hulk wasn't even really hinted at in her original stories. Scorpina was a fine character, and it is actually here with David Peter, of all people, that we get into Hulk being her dad. Or rather, David Banner being her dad, I should say. That was a little thing I liked. All the other Hulk children were Hulk's children, but Scorpina was David Banner's. Anyway, none of this matters. Marvel went the other way and decided to just say that she wasn't his, and then made her evil. The other question you will be asking is, well, who is her mother? And the answer is a new character, because the original idea was scrapped. As the heir is a clear clue to the unused idea, she was meant to be the daughter of Madame Hydra's. And I don't know if the idea was meant to be David Banner slept with Madame Hydra's, but I can get down with that. It was changed, however. Madame Hydra's was swapped out for someone else, and the only artifact that remains is Scorpina's green hair. Her mother is instead this woman we have on this page. And how is this for what is technically a new original character? She is Madame A.I.M, That is what she is. Madam A.I.M. She is Madam Hydras, but for A.I.M. and a bit brown. She has a surprising amount of appearances. She wound up being a lot more important to the Marvel Universe than her daughter Scorpina ever did. Madam A.I.M. was introduced in Amazing Fantasy alongside Scorpina, and she is sexy. She is much sexier than MODOK, that is for sure. The idea with her and Hulk is that David Banner had either a one-night stand or a brief relationship with her when they were in college. They were both studying the same science. He never knew that he impregnated her, and it all works for me. I can buy all of it. It's not forced or retcon that makes no sense. Anyway, none of this matters. Marvel went the other way and decided to just say she wasn't his daughter and then made her evil. So, Scorpina, she is with this community that have fled to the outback, and they are being hunted by these mandroid looking things that have been sent by the government. And so David Banner, he feels compelled to intervene, but obviously after all the time he has sank into conquering his personal demons, he isn't really wanting to give it up and transform into Hulk because some men with guns have shown up. I actually really like the core idea here that David Banner has come to this tribe. They have not seen Hulk, but they have helped them control it and bottle that up. And now David Banner is conflicted because he is afraid that they might reject them should they ever see Hulk. It's good stuff. This guy, he is confronting this mutie. You wouldn't be able to tell for a minute based on how he looks. But it is Eustace the Uncomfortable. He is a mutie bad guy of the Excellent Men. One of their first bad guys, actually. And his shtick is he has a personal force field that is as much as impenetrable. He has actually gone up against Hulk a few times already. I am getting quite a lot of disparate history lessons squeezed into this one. I've not even had cause to mention Machine Team yet, but he is there. He's in this story. David Banner, he transforms into Hulk and fights some crocodiles, and then turns his attention to Eustace the Uncomfortable. And the reason that people have paired Hulk and Eustace plenty before is because it makes sense. Hulk could easily wreck a lot of other muties, but you have one that has a protective field that presents a clear obstacle for Hulk's super strength. Scorpina, she gets involved with the fighting and protecting the innocents. And I probably do need to explain some of House of Mert to help you better understand why they are hunting down people. But I am not going to. come up with your own explanation for why Australia is being ran by muties and why Exit Dust is the Prime Minister. I guarantee your idea will be better than House of M. I genuinely enjoy this. This first issue here, even the second issue of this story, I like it. It is a good use of Hulk, and it puts them in a different environment and setting. You used to be able to get a toy of this Hulk, House of M Hulk, or Aboriginal Hulk as I call them, because House of M is a label that drags it down. So after fighting off the government forces, here we have Prime Minister Exit Dust, as well as two more of his agents, Fireman Sam and Vanquisher. Not a bad quartet of excellent men, bad guys here. There is a lot to like about this story, and one thing is that it's kind of surprisingly happy for a Hulk story. He has found some people who accept them, not just as one of their own, and not just as David Banner, but they don't recoil or reject them upon seeing Hulk either. I recommend this as a standalone issue even. It is a nice little tale that presents some honest, good exploration of Hulk. The next issue has him mostly flirting with Madam A.I.M, so that is good too. But the one thing that I hate is that it is House of M. Read it, if you like it, make it canon in your head. That is my mindset on the matter. If you like a story, then it is as valid to you as you want it to be. 7s, thumbs ups.